What up, everybody? It's Mr. Grinch here with UG Studios. Today I'm just going to give you guys a brief description of the home, little DIY powder coating system I have here in the garage. I haven't seen like any really detailed videos of everybody that has like a real cool little DIY setup and how maybe people could get some ideas of how they want to set something up at their house. So I figured I would just do a little video of the setup that I have here, maybe give some people some ideas of what they might want to get started. So here, check it out. This is basically what I got. I mean, it's just built out of wood. The whole thing is built out of wood. So, comes down. I've got my little oven down there. So basically, this door will open up. It's got a little magnet, so when I close it, it'll stay closed. It'll open up this way, like that. And then I've got my mask, some headphones and some earplugs and some glasses, because it's pretty close to the compressor. So figure we'll have some glasses right there, some little tools to take things in and out of the oven, a little light switch in here, so when I'm powder coating I'm gonna have a little bit more light. Also, what this door helps to do too is sometimes if I gotta get the garage open, a little bit of air will blow and it kind of makes things a little messed up, so it kind of provides a little bit more of a shelter for when I'm powder coating things. So it's got a light in there. This is just a really basic filter. You can go get this, any type of filter like this will work really. And what the setup, the idea is to have a fan on the other side. So I can just reach over right here, turn this knob. Basically what that does is it turns the fan on, and the fan's pointed this way, so it sucks air into the filter, come around the back. So the fan is actually pushing this way, which draws all the powder into that filter, so that way you're not getting powder all over your garage when you're powder coating. It actually has some type of debris catching system set up. I'll go ahead and turn that back off. And then I've got this set up here. This thing will slide in and out, which is kind of nice because when I'm powder coating, sometimes I'll bring things a little bit closer to the filter. But when I need to, because when I'm done cleaning things, I'll burn everything with a torch. If I'm going to burn something, I'll burn it out here. And basically what I mean by that is like a torch like this. I'll light it up with this and just clean off any little residue that's on the metal before it goes into the oven. And then we come down here. This is basically the regulator that's plugging into my compressor. So this is going to control how much PSI I have coming to the powder coating gun. I have it set very low, as you can see. That's where I usually run it. It never really requires much more air than this. So yeah, these things do require a very minimal amount of air. It doesn't go through very much. I've got a little drying system here, so basically it's just a fan, and then anything that I powder coat will hang on this wire or on this rod right here. And then I have a little switch that I can turn on, and basically it kind of just cools down. I've got a real basic little oven down here. It's been able to get by with what I throw in there. The gun that I'm using is an Eastwood Powder-Coating Gun. It's been great. I haven't had any issues with it. There's a few modifications that I did do to it. Number one is I put some glue on this thing so it wouldn't spin. I also taped the button so that way I can just powder coat and use with one hand. So everything's connecting. Just hold it, push the button when you're spraying. I also ran, instead of the cup, it has two tubes. I just put hose barbs inside of this gun and run two tubes down parallel to this jar, and kind of just made like a makeshift lid with some pieces you can find just at the hardware store. It looks like that. And that way when I'm powder coating, it's in a glass jar. I just put a little bit of powder in here, and then it'll just sit in there like that. And then I just can take the gun and just spray whatever I need to spray. So I didn't change that. The filtering system that I have right now is something like this. So it's going to hit, it comes from the compressor into the regulator. The regulator goes through this hose, runs down into here, and then it's got some type of micron filter and then DS and beads, and then that runs up into the gun. And then the gun's got another little filter here, and this was like a little air regulator, so kind of control how much powder is coming out of there with something like that. So there's a shot of it. One thing I can also show you, all right, so here's some, check it out, Mr. Grinch UG Studios. These are some of the mics that are getting made. So right there's a flat black that was all powder coated and done here. And then also here's like a silver vein type texture feel with flat black on top and bottom. So check those out. One thing else I also did do is I got different powder coats. I just got washers, powder coated the washer, and then just glued them onto the lids. That way I can come over here and just actually visually see the color. All right, I know what's in there. I know what's in there. And then as they run low, you can just fill them up. And got a few types of heat tape, some stuff to clean the metals with when it's done being powder coated. And I think that's pretty much it. That's a full overview of everything. Let me see. So here's a shot right there of the cabinet from the other side. And then this is can close up. Turn the light off. There you go. Also can do a brief, might as well do a brief little sandblast cabinet. If you guys have seen any of the first video that I did, I do not have it on wheels, which is kind of nice. So that way it's got the still dust deputy and the shop vac on that piece of wood. So the whole thing, if I need to move it out of the way and clean it, the whole thing can just roll around, which is really nice. And it's also, what's nice too is I added some height, because now at least the holes are right here where my arms are. Before they were a little bit lower, so it's actually up to my height now, which is kind of cool. The last thing that I did, most recent, is now it doesn't have the two tubes inside. It actually just siphons from the bottom. So I just created a kind of like this piece has 2 holes, and then it's got this bottom piece has a tube that comes out to about here, so it's sucking sand from 2 points, and then this just runs through a hose up to the side of the cabinet right here, and it goes into the cabinet right there. I can give you a shot. Let me see. Turn this thing off. Put the cabinet, how it looks inside. So just got another hose coming up right there. So it's still just a hand triggered. But it does have like the gravity fed style, and yeah, it works great. If you guys are using the 2 tubes though, I mean, those ones work just as good. I didn't see like a real noticeable improvement from what I did. The only real thing that's kind of nice about it is now I don't have the 2 tubes into the canyon. It's just that suck down into the bottom and kind of like mess around with them. It's just constantly feeding from the very base of the cabinet, which is kind of cool. So that's another little mod. But it's pretty much it, you guys. All right, man. Mr. Grinch here with UG Studios. Check out the mics. Check it out. All right, later.